So today on Project Shop, we're going to take a little bit of steel to the steel yard, hit one of my customers, then we're going to come back here and start a massive scrap out. We got to get everything out of here. But first I got to offload this trailer. I took that big Cummins generator over to my generator guy because he thought he could get it running. And he swapped me out well, at first he thought he was just gonna swap me out these two back ends. And I told him, I was like, nah, man, I did these in that one video and there was hardly any copper in there. So I told him I didn't even want them really. And then he gave me those and a bigger, that Cummins was a 60 kV. This is 100. So this has a massive back end on it. And this one here, this is the first one I've ever seen with a reduction. And the better generators spin slower. So this one here should have a decent amount of copper in it. This has a reduction gear here because this spins at like 2,700 RPMs. They reduce it down to like 1,800. And it's just it's a better setup. Now this one here, unfortunately, he took the radiator out, but I told him he has a couple radiators that he's probably going to wind up giving me, some bad ones. And also this one here actually came with some cats. This muffler was so rusted out. Anyway, you look down in there, you can see the stuff. I don't know if they're actually worth anything, but we'll save them. I've been saving a pile of those up to take to the cat guy. And yeah, so I'm gonna get this thing offloaded so we can load some steel on here. I got a little bit of heavy steel and a little bit of shred. And then we're gonna hit a customer real quick, then we'll be back here and we'll continue digging into this big container and scrapping out everything we got. Okay, so unfortunately I forgot my cameras. That's the guy I got my forklift from. This guy over here is always on me about filming. I need one of those. Anyway, I forgot my camera, but I wanted to get rid of some pallets. So this was basically taking up 3 pallets in the shop. We got a little prepared, and this shred. This ain't gonna be a lot of money, and I wish I could have just thrown this in the big trailer, but unfortunately, it's full of scrap that needs to be processed. So we'll get this offloaded. Then I gotta go see one of my customers. Possibly about picking up a new product, sort of. We'll talk about it later. I got something really cool coming for the channel, and I already got product lined up for it. Okay, so there was a little issue over there for a second. The forklift driver called over the other dude and was like, "Oh no, this is tin shred," and I'm like, "Nah, man, it's prepared. They've been paying me prepared on this stuff for years." I've never had that much AC compressor stuff. I think that's why it was a little more obvious, but they brought over another guy who brought over a third guy, and they confirmed. So anyway, we had 380 pounds of that shred, 7 cents a pound. It went up, $26.50, and then we had 2,200 pounds, over a ton of AC compressor, and there might have been a little bit of transformer steel, but that was basically all the stators from that stuff. 8 cents a pound, 176 for 202.60. Not the best steel ticket by far, and I still have tons of steel back at the shop. But hey, 200 bucks for a little midday, actually mid-morning trip, and then my customer is literally right around the corner that I'm going to go see. So all in all, it's a good deal. So we're gonna go do a little pickup here, and then we're gonna head back to the shop. All right, we made it back to the shop. Now, I was gonna get out there and work on that big generator, but I can't get it in the shop sideways. I probably could put the extensions on and pull it straight in, but it's hot out there. Plus, I got other things I can do in the shop, which one is this basket of lights. Hopefully we can pull a transformer or two out of here. My goal is to locate all the transformers and all the electric motors and stators that I have, and I'm going to spend today and tomorrow processing everything that has a transformer or an electric motor or a stator, meaning them big generators, the actual back ends themselves. I want to get them all prepped and get them all up on the table. You know, we got to clean the bench. That's always an ongoing problem. Clean the bench off, get everything on the bench ready to go. And then we're gonna have one massive pull and see if we can't come up with about 1,000 pounds of number 2 copper. It's gonna be a stretch, but we might have 1,000 pounds here. So if we can get 1,000 pounds, that'll be about 30 something, $3,500 if the price of copper stays the same. So to get 1,000 pounds, we're gonna have to hustle. Now we have a couple days to do it, and there's a lot of tedious stuff around here, and not just number 2 copper, we'll do number 1. I don't have a lot of bright and shiny, but I do have a couple nuggets that we can strip down. We have transformers, we have stators, electric motors, AC compressors, big motors. You know, some of the stuff's going to be a little tedious to get to and liberate, but we're here for it, man. I'm going to start right here because I need this bin, and I can put these lights, they'll stack up inside each other, and they can go on a pallet. But I need this bin for other things. So y'all seen me do these 1,000 times. It looks like someone already was in there and retrofitted these. Hopefully they just bypass the ballast and then just remove it. But there might be a transformer or two in here. We are going to get some extruded aluminum. These ones have the extruded arms. These ones unfortunately have big steel, big chunks of steel. I did tear weight the dude on this. Even though I only paid 15 cents a pound as irony aluminum, these big steel, this is all steel, and this is a solid, look at this. Look how much steel that is. I think I gave them like a 15 or a 20 pound tear weight. Right off the bat, man, I'm like, nah, dude. There's 3 of them. No, I think I gave them 15 pounds, so. I mean, it's probably more than 15 pounds, but hey. We're still gonna make out okay with all the extrusions. You know, hopefully there's transformers in there. Ultimately, we're here for the copper. So we'll hit this on a time lapse. We'll blow this out, get this out of the way, palletized, free up my bin, and then we're gonna be on the hunt for electric motors. Actually, probably gonna clean off the table because I would like to have a workbench to work off of. Although I do have a couple workbenches outside. But it ain't my 10-foot. It ain't. Once you have a 10-foot work table, it's hard to work on anything less. You know, everything just feels like micro. Everything's a micro table compared to that. Anyway, let's get to work. All right, I got all that tore down. Now the last ones, the little ones, those plates were a pain in the butt because not only are they riveted in on the top and on the back, but they're glued in. And the best way I found to get them out is to flip them up, beat them down with a hammer, and then take a big old, I call it a pin bar, 6 or 4 or 5 foot power bar, and drive it down in there and just peel the glue. You can see where it's glued. It's just a nightmare, but you got to get the plate out. So we got that done. We did get, I think most of these are 1 copper, 1 aluminum. Well, not most of them. There was a couple double coppers in there, so I'm kind of excited about that. We are going to get some extrusion out of the glass and these arms. And then I don't know if I'm going to sit here and try and pull that sheet aluminum out of there. It's kind of tedious, not really, I don't know. We'll see if we can't hit it with the hatchet. But I'm going to get this cleaned up. Then I'm going to switch gears real quick because I got the stuff I picked up the other day. The grinding, the surface grinder. And those tables out here under that tarp. And then we just have a mess of stuff here I have to clean up. So I'm going to, oh, and I got to get that Generac on my trailer. I'm gonna go swap that this morning or tomorrow morning for a bigger one. But while no one's here and I have space, I'm gonna move all this stuff over, get access to that bay over there. I'm gonna put all that stuff in that bay for now. I'm gonna put all the fans that I kept, they're kind of just sitting out here right now, in that bay. Just get it up out of here, out of the way, and just do a little bit of cleaning here. That way tomorrow I got room to actually work out here, because during the day it's not a lot of room. Like when the neighbor's here and he's got cars here, and then my truck, I mean my car's over there right now, there's really no room. I'm like out of space and it's like gridlocked. It's hard for me to get anything done. So I'm gonna clean this up, get that stuff over there, sort this stuff right here, because tomorrow I really need to get into that trailer, because I got steel I need to start throwing in that trailer. And I've seen a couple comments. I mentioned I want to split that thing. I think what I might do is actually bore some holes with a hole saw and weld some cups like on the outside that I can put a pin in. Every time I'm outside, man, people creep by and look over here, and I don't know. I had past 2 weeks, man, 3 people rode by and like, hey man, I watch you on YouTube. It's kind of, and the neighbor told me that a lot of his customers said, hey man, I see that guy. They see my truck out here. They're like, oh, I see that guy on YouTube. You know your neighbor's on YouTube? It's kind of crazy. So anyway, we're gonna get this cleaned up and sort this out a little bit out front here, kind of get a better beat on this. I'm gonna go check and see if the dumpster's empty. I want to dump this. This is basically all insulation from a big strip out we had. And yeah, we need to get it cleaned up over here. Okay, so pretty much got an absolute mess out here, but I got a clear path over to the other bay here, and I'm gonna move that stuff in a second. I'm gonna evaluate this stuff on these pallets. I'm gonna try to free up some pallets. I just freed up one pallet that I had this granulator on. I'm gonna have to actually, the granulator's heavy. I gotta bring the forklift in here and pull this back. I'm gonna push the granulator up in there for now. And you know, this place is chock full of projects that I need to get to. Mainly this forklift. I really, that little forklift is great. I'll probably do 80 to 90% of my stuff with that thing going forward. But I need something bigger, more powerful, because I'm getting these big generators that weigh 3,000 pounds and I'm teetering that thing. It's only rated for 27 or 2,800 pounds. It's not even 3,000, and I'm pushing it, man. So definitely just have to make a priority to get on this thing. It's just, I've been so freaking busy and trying to do a bunch of stuff pretty much by myself, but we'll get it sorted. That's Steve's, so that's got to go. That is a little generator I got from a customer from free. It's missing a cap, but it runs, and I'm pretty sure the stator worked on it. What I wanted to do with that, it's so small and compact, I wanted to mount it on my crane that sits on my trailer, so I have, when I'm out and about scrapping, I got power to do whatever. It's just going to be mounted right on the trailer. So that's a project. That one, I have another one over there. Those two, I mean, they've been here for 3 years. I just need to basically get in here and do 2 projects a week out of this bay. Pull the things out, and let's clear this stuff out. Yeah, that's just, oh yeah, I got spare tires up there, I forgot, for my trailer. I'm gonna have to bring some of them down. And anyway, I'm gonna bring the machine in here, the grinder, and probably set it right here. My plates, my round blades I usually use as ramps are in the back, buried. I don't feel like pulling them out, so I used this stuff, and that's the difference between a good quality steel and crap steel. It just bent the crap out of this stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna get that stuff in here, and then the stuff that was in here I'm gonna sort real quick. Whether or not it's gonna stay, go, we're just gonna have to start going through everything. And I'm gonna have to just make, you know, probably at the end of the day, you know, pull something out and start going through it. Steve's gonna have to come get this thing out of here. I'm gonna have to get a seal kit for that. I was actually thinking about this little thing the other day. I think I'm gonna take that and put it in that big trailer. So if I use that trailer, like only when I'm going out to pick stuff up, I'm using that trailer to pick stuff up. I could actually put little pallets, or put a pallet in there, or put stuff, and you know, because it's hard to get stuff from there to the front without a forklift or manually. So that could come in handy. There's the 300-pound counterbalance stainless discs that used to be on the back of my cherry picker, which is on that trailer right now, full of all kinds of goodies. We've got to get to that. Maybe we'll get to that this weekend. Once I get this stuff sorted and cleared out, the car's going, I might even pull this thing out this weekend and cut the boom off of it, send that boom to the scrap yard. I'm sure there's 1,000 pounds or more of steel on here. I don't know. Right now, the only thing this trailer's doing is holding up my big light that I use to shine when I'm working at night, and taking up space. So we need to sort that out. We need to sort the tenet out. Whether I'm gonna fix the hydraulics on that and get that thing going again, or if I'm just gonna scrap it. It'd be nice to have, because man, that thing would clean this whole parking lot up real quick. I can scoop up all my scrap with it. So I'm gonna get the forklift in here, get this stuff sorted, pack all this stuff up, and that's gonna be a wrap for me today. It's definitely getting hotter out. We're in summertime, because man, that sun is cooking during the day, and The shop is just freaking hot, man. I really need to get one of these ACs down and do something with it. All right, we're losing light fast, but we're actually cleaning up out here pretty darn good, man. Over here, I just had a bunch of crap, fans and jacks and stuff. I was actually, the crazy thing is, this bay was a mess. I could barely walk from one side to the other. I put 2 metal carts, a grinder, and 2 big steel carts in here, and everything that was already in here, plus all these fans, and I still got a better walkway than when I started. So I'm just gonna keep going with this because this is better for my mind and my OCD and unclutter and everything, you know. And then I could just get in here and kind of, you know, grab a fan and go mount it in the shop somewhere. I'll probably mount one up here so this bay has some circulation, or I'll mount it back there and blow this way. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But we got plenty of these fans to mount. I got 3, 4 of them that I kept. This is clean. I couldn't even walk by here without tripping over stuff. I'm going to pick this thing up and move it over a little bit now that the neighbor moved the car that was there. I used to have my scale right there, but now I'm going to put the scale over here so that it doesn't interfere with him at all, and it can just kind of permanently be here. So I'm going to turn on some lights and move this, clean this up a little. This little area is the last little thing I need to clean up and sort through the stuff. I do have gonna have a couple things I'm gonna need to take to the dumpster. These tires I'm gonna have to cut up. But I did clean up 4 pallets. I got rid of 4 pallets, and then I'll get rid of that pallet right there, and I'm gonna disconnect that trailer from the truck, and then throw a bunch of trash in the truck, go to the dump, and we'll just keep on going, man. We'll do a little bit of cleaning every day, a little bit of scrapping, and get a better flow back in here, and then start sorting out the entire shop, and start knocking out some projects, so you know, we can check some stuff off the list. I have everything scheduled until Tuesday. I ain't taking on any more work. It's Thursday, so tomorrow I'm gonna go swap that generator first thing in the morning for a bigger one. And he said he had some other things, but he's not gonna be there, so I don't know if the guys, I'm gonna get that tomorrow morning. But I'll get a bigger generator for that. We're gonna come back, and then we're gonna process all. I have a small Generac in there with a stator. We got that big monster here. We're gonna have the other one. We got the stators that are already in there, and these 2 big stators right here. We're just gonna get all the stators. I have a couple big electric motors in there. We're gonna get all the electric motors processed and, you know, up on the table, ready to split. So we're gonna find all the stuff, all the transformers. I have a bunch of ballast in there. I got a bunch of transformers I need to pull out of a couple things. We just recovered some more HID transformers with a little bit of copper. So if we can knock all this stuff out by Saturday, Sunday, I think I'm going to do a big copper pull. We'll crack all the transformers, we'll cut all the transformers, we'll split and pull all the copper, and see how close we get to 1,000 pounds. We need 1,000 pounds, man. We definitely, if we can get 1,000 pounds, we'll be on the right track. And then, you know, we're looking for, see if we can pull like $6,000 out of this shop in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days. So we need to do a little bit more than $1,000 a day. What's that going to be? 1,500 bucks a day maybe we need to do, starting tomorrow. So we got to hustle, man. Gotta empty the big trailer because I got a bunch of steel I need to start chucking in there. I might even go see the cat guy. I might have a couple $100 in cats sitting there. I don't know where they went. I think they're out back in a bin somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna turn on some lights and probably hit a time lapse. We'll sort through this stuff real quick and get on out of here. All right, I'm about done, but it's pretty clean other than the drips from the forklift. I think one of the hydraulic hoses is leaking. I gotta get up, I gotta jack that thing up and pressure clean underneath. I thought we got a lot of the stuff off, man. Underneath it doesn't look like we touched it. But anyway, we're pretty dialed in over here. Tomorrow that's gonna go. I'm gonna bring a bigger one back, and then I can knock these two things out. I got all the stuff in there ready and easily accessible. We did have a casualty, unfortunately. I don't know how it happened, because I thought I had this wire wrapped up underneath, but I pinched off the wire. Steve patched it for me. I don't know if it's gonna work. I want to get out of here. I'm not even gonna mess with it tonight. So this whole thing's about to fall off the pallet. Yeah, that's what happens when you're working and you're tired, man. You wind up messing your crap up. So, oh, I gotta close this door. At least I picked this line up. Okay, we're gonna have to put this thing to use. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I just have to drop that trailer, and move my car over, and I'm going home. I think I did pretty good. Got the whole, I mean, this, I couldn't walk down this row right here without stepping over a bunch of stuff. And now I got a nice little pass through here, which I didn't have before, and I put a lot more stuff in here. There's literally twice as much stuff that was in here before, and it's much more organized. And then what I'll do is I'll just start with one like I'm gonna scrap. First, we're gonna blow through all the scrap, one pallet at a time, and just see how many pallets we can do in a day and knock the stuff out. And then I'm gonna come in here and do the same thing, one pallet at a time. This thing here, I'll probably try to put it up for sale. This is a generator out of a yacht or some type of big boat. You got to run like seawater through it or something like that. I don't know. Or you could give it a radiator and just run coolant through it, I guess. I don't know, but it's a diesel Kubota engine. We replaced the flex plate. This is what happens to them. They break out the middle all the time. Anyway, yeah, I got to blow through a bunch of stuff in here. I need to really get on this because I'm getting nervous about the little forklift, man. I've been working the crap out of that thing, and it is, you know, it was already old when I got it. We kind of refreshed it up a little bit. I do have a box of parts for this thing, and I do have the cab for it, you know, the cage. So one project at a time here. First project now is scrap. So we're going to be calling the next week project scrap. How much scrap can we produce by Tuesday? So we'll be incinerating, we'll be splitting stators, cracking transformers. The only thing I don't have in the shop right now, unfortunately, is wire. I ain't got no wire to strip, which is kind of sad. Everything we have in here, I'm pretty sure I can get probably close to $6,000. And hey, we'll be able to pay our rent and put a splash of diesel in the truck and then do it all over. So come as far, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?